Hey, welcome to the show. Before we get started, just like to give a thank you to my sponsors. If you're listening to this and not watching, you don't get to see the fancy logos or my pretty face or my awesome shirt that I'm wearing. But thank you to E&M Imaging, the Matt Sossman Skill School, and Paintball Central for supporting the show. And also my company, WM Customs, for dressing me like a champion every time I do a show. Well, not every time I don't wear this kind of stuff, but anyway, let's go down the rabbit hole tonight. This was a phenomenon that I was not aware of until a couple years ago when a guy at work mentioned it to me. Gave me a brief description of what was going on, and I pretty much spent the rest of the weekend researching this shit. And that was a couple years ago, but kind of got creeped out a little bit because I don't know if my mind's playing tricks on me, if I'm going senile, or shit's really happening. This show is the Mandela Effect. Okay, so some little backstory of this whole situation here, why it's called the Mandela Effect. Nelson Mandela, who had been in prison for decades, he died in 2013, and when he died in 2013, people were like, wait, he died again? They had remembered him dying in prison. I remember Nelson Mandela in the 90s, I believe it was 90s. It may have been late 80s. I think it was 89 or whatever when they were saying it was. I remember them saying, he died. I remember him getting released from prison and then dying. Like a couple years later, I'm like, wow, it's, at least he had a couple years of freedom. Well, it turns out he died in 2013. So that's one of those. That's what really started the whole Mandela effect. It was a lot of people were questioning this death because they had remembered him dying before. Like, Billy Graham, I remember dying years ago, and apparently he died in 2018. Like, whenever I heard he died again, I'm like, what? I swear Billy Graham, there was a little not celebration, but a funeral and all this procession for him years ago. And then when I found the other day, I thought that George Lopez was dead. I swear he died about the same time Bernie Mac did. And then recently he's been in movies. I'm like, wait, how can a dead guy be in movies? Like I was very confused with that one. This is why I actually decided to do this show, because seeing George Lopez in The Tax Collector, it kind of blew my mind. I'm like, I swear he died years ago. So I kind of decided right then and there, after watching a shitty movie, that I want to do a video about this. So I've been doing a little bit of research again, finding some stuff that kind of blew my mind whenever I found out about this. There's a lot of stuff out there that people are saying, oh, well, this logo looks like this and this logo looks like that. I remember looking like that. Like Oscar Mayer Wieners, they remember spelled a different way. Fruit Loops, they remember spelled, fruit, not F-R-O-O-T. Or like Looney Tunes, they remember. Like I thought Looney Tunes was T-O-O-N-S, because tunes, cartoons. And it turns out it's T-U-N-E-S. And Curious George, people remember having a tail. The Monopoly guy, they remember him having a monocle. Well, I don't know about all those because, people see what they want to see sometimes. You can see something and then years later, oh, I thought it was this, when you get older, your parents are always like, oh, you remember that TV show Fuller House with John Stannis? Stuff like that. Your memory doesn't really work as well when you get older. So you kind of, I remember it this way, I remember it that way, and it's a false memory. I'm not saying that they're not real. I just kind of blow them off because I understand memories aren't the best thing in the world, and you can always remember something differently. But there are some things that blew my damn mind when I heard about them on the Mandela Effect. I actually wrote a list here, and just some of the things that like kind of blew my mind a little bit. I got notes here. Just weird stuff like the Lindbergh baby. Okay, I always remember the Lindbergh baby. It was before my time, but whatever. The Lindbergh baby got kidnapped one night, and the parents and the cops and the feds and everything did all this searching, and never found the Lindbergh baby. That's why it was like kind of a big deal. I remember. Who knows Lindbergh baby if the Lindbergh baby's dead or not? He could be anybody. There could be a guy running around, an older man running around now that is the Lindbergh baby, and he doesn't have any idea who he is. That was always like a perception, like of an idea. Because the kid was never recovered. Well, according to the Google, Lindbergh baby was dead. They found the body 2 months later. Which I understand you can remember stuff, you can read stuff differently, but why would there be all this stuff like, oh, there's a mystery? The Lindbergh baby could be walking among us right now and nobody knows. If they found a body, then this should never have been any kind of conspiracy or thought or mention of anything ever. That kind of blows my mind a little bit. Then you watch the Gremlins, the Gremlin that had the mohawk, the white mohawk. I always remember him as being Spike. Apparently his name was Stripe, but that could be just memory. That could be like my mom going, "Oh, I think his name's Spike," and I just remember Spike from now on. There's little stuff like that you can just blow off. Then there's stuff like C-3PO. When the hell did C-3PO have a silver leg? I never noticed that. Maybe it's because I was too young to really give a shit about noticing details. Maybe it's because TVs have gotten bigger. Instead of watching on 27-inch TV, you're watching on 55-inch TV. Standard def, 27-inch TV, high def, 55-inch TV. Now you can notice the damn silver leg. Maybe that's possible. But I remember rewatching the trilogy and all. I'm like, wait a minute, that doesn't look right. When did he get this silver leg? So that was one of the ones that kind of just stuck with me a little bit. There's also the MASH thing. A lot of you guys are guys and girls and whatever. You're too young to remember MASH, but MASH was a great TV series. It was a spinoff from a movie. The movie is more serious than the TV show. The TV show got serious at times, but it's more of a comedy. But one of the characters that made it from the movie to the TV show was Radar. He was a sympathetic guy. He was nobody really special, but he tried his ass off. He was a lovable. Everybody loved Radar. I remember he left Vietnam. No, I'm sorry, not Vietnam. Sorry. He left Korea. And when he left Korea, his plane went down and he died. Maybe I'm getting things confused or not, but according to, once again, the internet, Radar never died. I know the other people died after they left the show. Maybe I just kind of misremember stuff. Maybe shit's working. You don't. Certain things could happen. It's a 50-year-old TV show. Watching reruns, watching different shows, watching other things, maybe my brain messed up. That leads on to maybe let's hear some misquoted things from movies. Snow White, the evil queen, goes to her mirror, and she's wanting to know who the fairest person in the land is because she thinks it's going to be her. So she goes to this mirror and she activates it. And she says, who is the fairest of them all, or whatever. Well, I've always thought it was mirror, mirror on the wall. You can go online. You can see quotes that people have quoted this movie, mirror, mirror on the wall. There's stickers. There's stickers like, like the laugh, live, love, laugh, or whatever. There's stickers and decals or whatever of mirror, mirror on the wall. It was a thing for a while. But if you go back and watch the movies, magic mirror on the wall. I had to like rewatch the movie and like fast forward to that point to actually see what is it. And yes, it's Magic Mirror on the Wall. That one threw me for a loop. Um, then speaking of misquoted stuff, you've got Forrest Gump. Mama said life was like a box of chocolates. Everybody quoted that damn quote after this movie came out. Life was like a box of chocolates. Life was like tons of references, quotes, pictures, headings, whatever. Life was like a box of chocolates. You go back and watch it now. Life is like a box of chocolates. He never said was. Okay, that could be blown because he had kind of a slow talk, southern drawl. So yeah, whatever. It could have been. We could have always misheard that. Queen, We Are the Champions. I remember We Are the Champions. Pause. Of the world. Never happened. Never, according to the internet, once again, of the world was never uttered after We Are the Champions. I distinctly remember We Are the Champions of the world. Mind blower. And then you come to stuff like, Sex and the City. I remember when it first came out, maybe it was my teenage warped mind, Sex in the City. I was like, well, that's a pretty graphic name, Sex in the City. They're going to have a lot of sex in the city. Well, Sex in the City. Then you come to the ones that really just messed me up a little bit. When I was a kid, and you always go to like the dentist or the doctor's office, there's always a set of books sitting there. The Berenstain Bears. Everybody, like not everybody, but a lot of people remember Berenstain. Stein. Steinstein, whatever you want. Look at the books today. Look at the books that are in the past. Berenstain. Stain. I have no explanation for that one. That one just blows my mind a little bit. Sinbad. I remember Sinbad in a movie called Shazam, where he was a genie. Sinbad was a comedian back in the 80s and 90s. And I remember him doing a movie where he was a genie called Shazam. And I wanted to see the movie. I don't think I ever did. That's because it never existed, apparently. There was Shaq and Kazam, but I remember Sinbad in Shazam. Apparently that never existed. Sinbad himself says that movie never existed. Well, when you have a star saying that the movie never existed, then you probably have to follow that logic and say, okay, apparently it never existed, even though I remember the damn movie existed. But then you have a star who pretty much validates your idea of this Mandela Effect of what he said in the movie. James Earl Jones has been quoted in interviews as quoting Darth Vader whenever he was telling the reveal, the Luke, I am your father. James Earl Jones quotes himself, Luke, I am your father. That's why he says it. That's why he says he read off the page and he was surprised. He thought it was a joke. Numerous quotes on the internet. Luke, I'm your father. Anytime, Tommy Boy, the movie Tommy Boy, he's in the mirror and he's in the fan. Luke, I am your father. Anytime you talk about Star Wars, certain things, there's always Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your father. Luke, I am your father. If you go back and watch the movie, no, I am your father. Mind blower. Mind blowing right there. I think the final one I want to talk about, Eli Whitney, the inventor of the cotton gin. It was a few years ago when my life got turned around. And I looked at a picture of Eli Whitney, and I did not recognize who I was looking at. All these years, I think till my mid late 30s, I thought Eli Whitney the inventor of cotton gin, was an old black man from the he wasn't old when he created it, but the pictures I saw of Eli Whitney, he was an old black man with gray hair and mutton chops. And then you go online and you look up pictures of Eli Whitney. He's a skinny little white dude. I have no explanation for this one. Like I don't understand. I can't wrap my head around what the fuck that is. Like my whole life, I was thinking. I learned in school that Eli Whitney was a black man, and nowadays he's white. It just blew my fucking mind. I mean, you can explain stuff like, people think Mona Lisa's smile has changed over the years. You can explain, like, people's perception of stuff. Technology's gotten bigger, pictures have gotten better. And like there's been lots of like songs and shit about Mona Lisa's smile, mentions of it. So it could have been exaggerated. And then when you see an updated picture of it, it doesn't look as exaggerated. That I can understand. But Eli Whitney being a white guy, I don't understand that at all. So, what is the Mandela Effect? Well, it could be something as simple as memories are not your memories in your brain are not as strong as like videotape and everything, and shit fades and shit. What I mean, like complicated math problems. If you don't use that shit, it kind of goes away. So if you don't think about Eli Whitney or Mona Lisa or Star Wars or anything, the next time you hear it, it can sound different because it's not in your brain at no time. There's also theories that, and you're gonna call me a crackpot for this one, the multiverse and everything. Like there's multiple universes, and I know somebody said that the Higgs boson getting started up may have started our universes interconnecting, overlapping. So basically, our reality is merging with another reality, and some things are leaking through. So like our reality, Luke, I'm your father, and their reality, no, I am your father, gets swapped over. So now our reality here is no, I'm your father. Their reality here is Luke, I'm your father. And either it's going to merge together to one, to where like everything's the same on both sides, or the universe is just going to pop through. And then we keep some of what we had, and some of their had, some of what they had, and then vice versa. And maybe there's more universes coming through, so there's going to be another one. So multiple universes, different directions going around, flipping over. That's another theory. Another theory is, the butterfly effect. Basically, the whole plot of Back to the Future. If you go back in time and change something, then in the future it gets changed. It's not like the Marvel Cinematic Universe's version of time travel where time's linear and it always stays the same. But like, if you change something here, it branches off to a different reality, but your reality stays the same, and your past is still your present and your future and all. They're basing it more on like the Marty McFly version where you go back in time and you bang your mom instead of your dad banging your mom, and you're not born anymore. Or like the Twin Pines Mall where like he went back in time and what the hell's the old man's name? The farmer used to be there. He ran over one of his pines, and he comes back to the present, and instead of being the Twin Pines Mall, it's the Lone Pines Mall. So those are a few of the theories that are out there. There's also Elon Musk, who is a fucking genius. Him and some other people believe we're in a simulation. So basically, this could be a glitch in the matrix. Just how any kind of little glitch changes things. So the Mandela Effect could be a glitch in the matrix. There's been countless statisticians who said the probability of us being an actual real existing plane of existence, whatever, is very unlikely. And the likelihood of us being in a simulation that was created by advanced AI, the probability is very high. I don't know, like, all those kind of like worry me a little bit. Being in a simulation, that kind of sucks. Could I not get like a fucking millionaire fucking job for us in a simulation? The universe is crashing together. That's crazy. The time traveler going making shit crazy, messing shit up. That seemed crazier. My mind not being as fucking great as I thought it was. That sucks too. But hopefully, one day we'll figure out what the hell's wrong. Maybe one day they'll be like, well, time travel is not definitely not possible, and there's definitely not multiple universes. You're definitely not in a matrix, so your brain just sucks. But like I say, if there's any Mandela effects you guys know of or heard of or experienced, comment on this video. Maybe I'll do some research. If there's anything else you want me to like list or go further in depth, let me know. If you think I'm fucking crazy, let me know. If you have your own theory on what's going on, let me know. Hit me up in the comments. Deuces.